Yo, what is going on, guys? Flashverse here, and welcome back to another video on The Flash Season 8. And wow, guys, we finally got the trailer for The Flash Season 8. I can barely contain myself because what I saw was really sick. And yeah, this is obviously for the 5-part event titled Armageddon, and this will be my trailer breakdown for that. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to play the trailer due to copyright issues, and if I do play the trailer, then obviously I will get copyright claimed. I know a lot of content creators do play the trailers during their videos, but for those who don't know, they do still get copyrighted, and I just do not want to take that risk. So if you guys haven't seen the trailer yet, I will link in the description down below, and trust me guys, this trailer is insane. But yeah, without wasting any more time, you guys don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you are aware of more Arrowverse content coming your way. Okay, so the trailer kicks off with Barry running around the city into the Hall of Justice as we hear him say, "My name is Barry Allen and I'm about to do something impossible." Now, in regards to this, I don't really have any ideas for what he could be talking about. I would assume something related to time travel or something along those lines, since most of the characters who are appearing in this event may not know that Barry has the ability to time travel, such as characters like Batwoman and Black Lightning, for example. You would assume like characters like Mia would know that Barry is able to time travel because Mia is obviously from 2040, and Barry will have to go to 2040 to get Mia's help. But we do then get this city in panic as we see this pretty villainous shot of Despero. His suit looks great, Tony Curran looks great, and I cannot wait to see more of Despero in action. But we see Barry turn around and we hear Despero say, "I came a long way to find you, Flash." So yeah, as we already know, this crossover was going to be centered around Barry Allen, since this crossover is mainly focused on The Flash, since it's the first 5 episodes of The Flash. So we already knew that this crossover was going to be focused around The Flash. So it will be interesting to see what exactly it is that Despero wants with Barry specifically. Once again, we do know that the premise of Armageddon is to explore the possible futures of these different heroes, but I doubt that this is why Despero wants to go after the Flash. Obviously, that is a possibility, but I think that he's after Barry for something else. It could be that maybe like the Flash has like huge legacy in the future, and Despero just wants to get rid of that because it aligns with his plans, and in order to succeed with his plans, he needs to get rid of the Flash. It could be something like that, I'm not entirely sure. Now, from what I'm seeing from this trailer, Despero seems to be very threatening and pretty scary as well. But we do hear Despero say, "Now that I have, I'm going to end your existence." And I got chills when he said that. Once again, it will be interesting to see what he wants with Barry specifically. Why does he want to kill the Flash and go after him, but not go after someone like Superman, for example, who you could say is much more powerful than the Flash? We do also get the shot of Barry in panic inside the Hall of Justice, so this is where I'm assuming that the heroes will begin to meet up, in which I do love that they're putting into good use like that. We do also see this shot of Despero, and over here, he is actually inside the Speed Lab in Star Labs. But as I said, from what I'm seeing over here, the stakes look really high, the villain looks really threatening, and it does genuinely feel like a crossover level threat, which is something I really like. We do also see this shot of Despero playing with chess pieces. I have no idea why, but I would assume it's just like, a metaphor to show how he plans on checkmating Barry, and that obviously foreshadows from later on in the trailer where we do hear Despero say checkmate. But we do also hear Despero warn Barry that he has 7 days left and then he's going to die, in which obviously results Barry going into panic, and he worries about how everyone who he cares about is at risk of dying. We do also have this shot of Allegra as she starts to talk about hope. Now, Allegra is a character a lot of us had issues with just due to how she was handled, but hopefully for season 8 she does actually have something to do, and she does get that time where she can build these emotional connections with the main cast like Barry. This is something we didn't see Allegra do at all, but for season 7, for example, we had characters like Chester do, so hopefully we get more of Allegra doing something like that with the main cast. I do really love how Despero just put this burden on Barry where he gives him a 7-day warning until his death, which again really excites me because with stakes like these, The Flash always delivers phenomenal episodes. Season 6 Part 8 is an example of that, and these 5 episodes genuinely look really good and looks to be a huge improvement over Season 7. But we do also have the shot of Barry in the Hall of Justice as he begins to worry, and he does begin to assemble the team, where we are having the team save the world. And this is when we see Black Lightning in the Hall of Justice as well. So this seems to be linked to whatever Barry is doing in the Hall of Justice, probably like formulating a plan or something like that. We do then have Mia Queen suited up as the Green Arrow. It's really great to see her return. And she does seem to be in CCPD if I'm not mistaken, just judging from the background. Or it could be linked to that convention where we know that the Atom and Barry will team up to face off against Despero. It could also be related to something else in the trailer where they're all dressed formally and then they all suit up later on. It could be something related to that shot as well, but I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, we do also have Javicia Leslie suited up as Batwoman, and one really cool Easter egg is the way Ray Palmer suits up as the Atom, with obviously that Superman dress up thing where he like pulls out the shirt, and obviously this is a nice Easter egg because Brendan Routh has obviously played Superman. But I do really love the scene where we have the Atom and the Flash joining forces together to face off against Despero. This is obviously a shot from episode 1. And we have this really funny line with Ray where he says, "Hey, have you been working out?" And Barry is just like, "Oh, finally someone noticed." I really like this. And obviously they added that in because Grunt has buffed up a lot compared from like season 6 to season 7. He became more muscular. And it's something like they just didn't acknowledge. So it was great that they mentioned it on the show for season 8 as well. It's just really great to see Ray Palmer return after Legends done him dirty by just getting rid of him. Ray Palmer is such a great character, so I'm glad that he's back for Armageddon. We do also have this scene between Black Lightning and the Flash where we do hear Black Lightning say, "Where is the future?" or something along those lines at least, with Barry responding, "Right here." And this seems to be in Freeland, where Barry heads over to Freeland to obviously get Jefferson's help. It could also be Central City as well, I'm not entirely sure. But this is where we have Barry warning Jefferson about this threat who will supposedly kill him and all his loved ones in 7 days. So this Armageddon event seems to be like a 7-day thing, rather than just being like, weekly or something like that. Obviously, time travel is something which is heavily utilized in Armageddon in the comics, so it will be interesting to see the extent of it on the show for Armageddon. We then cut to Chillblaine punching someone, and yes, it is hard to tell who he is punching, but from set photos we do know that he is punching Damien Dark. Now, as we know, Damien Dark has died on Legends, so this will be a Damien Dark who has time traveled, and he will be around the time of Legends of Tomorrow Season 2 or Season 3, somewhere between there. We do then cut to the shot of Caitlyn, and she does look worried, and we also get this shot of Mia Queen, once again suited up as the Green Arrow. It's just really great to have a Green Arrow still in the Arrowverse, so yeah, I'm really glad that Mia is back, despite her being not a huge fan of mine. And that's just due to how she was handled in Arrow Season 8, but again, this is The Flash, so it's nothing got to do with like the character of Mia or something like that. So hopefully she is handled better on The Flash than she was on Arrow Season 7 and Arrow Season 8. Now, this shot of Barry running is actually reused footage, and this is from Season 7, Episode 15, where Barry is running away from the Godspeed clones. And one thing that is very interesting is Allegra mentioning that there's like hundreds of earthquakes that she's able to track, and this is essentially just showing how powerful Despero is. It's just showing like, Despero causing more chaos, once again showing how threatening and menacing he is, and I'm really liking it. And once again, to just raise the stakes, we do have Ryan Choi saying this could be the end of the world as we know it. And we do once again have this shot of Despero, and this shot is actually from episode 5 of season 8, and this is actually during the final battle sequence between the Flash and Despero during the finale, and you can tell judging from the background. I'm not going to go too much into detail with what happens over there because obviously I do not want to spoil it for you guys, but if you've seen the set photos then you would know what I'm talking about. Now, it is really hard to tell where we are at over here, but we have Mia, Iris, Chester and Barry all dressed formally, so I'm assuming that they are going to some fancy event which they are predicting that Despero is going after to retrieve something, and we do actually see Mia getting her bow out, so clearly the threat has arrived. And we do have the scene of Despero destroying something, and he says, "No mind will shut its doors on me." And we do know that Despero does have telepathic abilities, so it seems like he will be using his abilities to control the people of Central City, maybe the heroes as well, and essentially bend them to his will. We do then have these shots of Cecile and Chester going into panic, and we then cut to Jefferson telling Barry to run, and I'm guessing that once again this is when Despero invades and they're just, following through with their plan. We then cut to some reused footage from the season 7 finale, and this is where actually Barry confronts August Hart after August Hart retrieves his organic speed. And then we wrap up the trailer where we get this really cool shot of Batwoman taking down some bad guys, and then we have Despero throwing Barry down like a chokeslam form, and he says, "Checkmate." Now, I am aware that Barry has the speed boost, so realistically, I would have been complaining about this takedown because a normal villain would have been taking down a speedster, and whenever I see stuff like that, I'm normally not a fan of it. But I will let this one slide for a particular reason, and that is because I did say that I would let these types of things slide if the villain Barry is facing off against is far more powerful than him, and that does align with what I said over here because Despero is a genuinely powerful villain, so I will let it slide over here, but it should not happen if I'm being honest. We do then end the trailer with Barry looking like he's in panic, and it seems like he's in some sort of like a warehouse, just judging from the background. I have no idea where it is, but Barry does look like he's confused and he's really stressed. This could be when something happens to Barry, which I do not want to mention for the sake of spoilers, but it's something which happens in episode 3 or 4. It could be something related to that. But we do then have Bart or Harrison Wells in general saying, "You never know what face they may wear when it shows up to change your life." So this could either be related to like a flashback scene where everyone has time traveled to before Barry got struck by lightning in 2013, and this is just something which Wells Bart says, or he could be referring to Despero over here. It'll be pretty interesting to see what's actually going on over here because it does look like we are getting some time travel just judging from this Harrison Wells or Wells Bart scene, and this doesn't seem like it's going to be present day Eobard, but rather it's going to be an Eobard from season 1, so that's pretty cool as well. But yeah guys, I am really hyped up for this crossover. I cannot wait to see this. Yeah, thanks for watching guys. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video.